Hello everyone. I have started this initiative named as Code India Computer Education Program, which is an online initiative for teaching students from class 6 to 10. So the purpose I have started these classes is that students can be at home, and since there are so many issues, corona and all, so they could not go to coaching centers. So they could study online in the comfort of their home. So my goal is to teach with a difference. No need of laptop, students can join from their mobile. So I will be sharing the link before the classes, which students can join from their mobile devices or from the laptop. Also, there is no copy paste of code. So whatever the code is there, that will be written in front of students so that they could understand and ask the questions. Also, it is very cost effective, no need to travel, and students will get a lot out of it. Experienced teacher with specialization for a target audience. So I have very good experience for teaching the students of class 6 to 10, especially for computer application. Teach to only specific set of people or students. The next, teaching coding programming is an art. We must get to the level of students to teach and make them understand. Not every coder could teach programming to the kids. So this is an art. Teaching is an art, and especially teaching computers is not so easy. So we have to get to the students' level and then make them understand with various examples so that they could understand. Then the students can maintain the classroom level learning in the comfort of their home. So students can be at home and they could still feel as if they are in the classroom. They can ask queries, we will answer their questions, and they could still learn. So notes and assessment will be provided to evaluate the progress, that how much they are learning. Class 10 exam is 80 marks programming and only 20 marks theory. So if you talk about the question paper, it is mainly 80% of the marks are from the coding part and only 20% of the marks are from the theory part. So you need to learn programming, then only you will be able to score good marks in the examination. So this is a sample question paper which defines the structure, how exactly the question paper comes, so that we could understand the syllabus in the perspective of what exactly we are going to study. So basically, if we see, the question paper is divided into two parts, two sections, section A and section B. So section A is basically 40 marks and section B is 60 marks. In section B, we have 4 questions of 15 marks each. Normally we get 6 questions, out of which we have to attempt 4 questions. And section A is 40 marks, which is majorly theory, but in theory also we have questions which are based out of programming. So that is the structure. Now if we say the theory part, which is actually the 100 marks which is given being there, okay, so this is basically based on the lab status. Like you have a practical exam where the lab and whatever the assignments you will get, you on the base of that you will get the marks. So that is like 100 marks you will get from the school side. Okay, so basically the total, if we say the question, the exam is of 200 marks, where 100 marks is basically you will get from the school, and then again the next 100 marks you will get the push exam which you have to attempt. Okay. Now, if we talk about this total syllabus, it is basically split into two classes, class 9 and class 10. So in class 9, we normally teach the basic of object-oriented programming, the concepts of elementary objects, what are objects, what is class, what are values, data types, operators in Java, okay, and all those things. Then mathematical library methods, conditional constructors in Java, iterative constructors in Java, nested for a loop. So initially we start with Java language. That what are the features of Java language? What is object orientation? And what are the features which makes Java a very prosperous language among all the other languages? So we start with the basic things so that students could understand. and then probability build a base for the programming. Okay, the next section is the constructors. So constructors, it talks about what exactly a constructor is, then what are parameters, what is parameters, constructor overloading, difference between constructor and method. Okay, so these things also will be explained. Then next is class as a basis of all computations, where we talk about the objects and classes and various features of object orientation like encapsulation, then abstraction, function overloading. All these things are being taught, which are actually the features of the object-oriented programming language, which is Java. Okay. Then we talk about the UDF, which is basically the user-defined method, which is again a very important point in Java language. These UDFs are mainly used for the repetitive work which we are doing again and again. So we define methods, and then whatever we write in these methods is automatically executed. Okay, and we have various types of methods, like we have call by reference, call by value, then we have parameterized, non-parameterized methods. So all these things we are going to teach. Then we have library classes which have been given in the Java, which are actually given to make our life easier. So among library classes we have a lot of functions, int, and then float, boolean. Okay, so these are basically integer methods. Then we have these methods related to the strings also, to uppercase, to lowercase, right? So these are the methods which are used to manipulate the strings. Then the next one is arrays. Arrays is again a very important topic in Java language, which is mainly used for storing the large set of data. So this is again a very important topic. So we have a lot of questions which mainly comes from arrays in the examinations. So we need to understand and learn this. Then the next one is the string handling. So string handling is basically when we want to handle the strings, which is like character strings. So we have a lot of methods which we can use and manipulate them. Okay. So some of the things we do in the strings is like splitting the strings, joining them, concatenating them, and all those. Okay. So in arrays we get a lot of programs based on like sorting in arrays, then arranging the numbers in the array in ascending or descending order, and then basically finding for a particular number in the array if it is present or not. So these are some of the examples. Okay. So this is the internal assessment which is being done in the school level, on the basis of which they provide the marks. So these are some of the string examples which are giving, like uppercase, lowercase, length, finding the length of the string, index, concatenate, equals, and all those things. Okay. Then this is actually the question paper, which is, if you see, it is like section A, which is 40 marks, right? So here we have so many questions, and if you see, the questions belongs to programming, and so they are asking questions from the programming itself. Okay, like what is an expression, what is the result of these steps. So these actually things are for the programming only. Now we have the local variable and the instance variable. What is the difference? So this is again a question. So this, you can see there are a lot of questions here which are again based on the programming only. The next question is again based on the programming. If else, let us, which case, and all those things are being asked here. Okay, then these are some of the programs for which we need to actually find what is the output here. You can see, right? So these are like loops. We need to learn how these loops works. Then string functions. What is the difference between to uppercase, to lowercase? Okay, this thing. So these are the questions again, like what is the difference between static member function, static member, and member function. So these are again being asked. Okay, now the next section, if you see, this is section B, which is actually 60 marks. Now in this you see we have questions like this. So one question is basically from the if else statement, where we are going to get this type of scenario where we have to calculate maybe the distance or electricity bill or water bill, or a lot of things are there. So we have to understand and learn how this if else statement works, and then only we could answer this particular question. So this is basically, if you see, this is here. This is 15 marks. Okay, so these are the conditions which we have to actually consider while implementing it. Okay, then the next question is again a manual driven program, like finding the sum of series. So here we have a lot of questions which we have to learn. This is based on loops. So we have like Fibonacci series, prime numbers, factorial, and all those things are there. So this is again based on factorial, you can see. So 5, so whatever the number is there, multiply all the numbers from 1 to till that number is basically the factorial. So we will learn how can we find the factorial of a particular number. This is again 15 marks. Okay. Then the next is basically on a string. So we also get one question for string manipulations, where we have to find what all characters are there in the string. Let's say sort the string, or concatenate the string, or these things comes normally. So we can only do this thing when we could understand the string and the use of string functions. So if you see here, it is saying that this is the cat is the input string. So what we need to print out is TIAC. So that means we have to take the first step of every word, and then move it into the capital, and then put these dots in between. So this is the output. And again, this is again 15 marks. Okay. So you need to understand how the string works, then only you could answer this particular question. The next question is basically for the array. Like it is asking that write a program to create an array for 10 integers, and then find the largest number, largest integer, and the smallest integer there. So what we need to do is we need to sort the array, and the first number will be the largest, or the last number is the smallest if we are doing descending, and if we are doing ascending, then the first is the smallest and the last is the largest. So these things we will learn. Then the next question, write a program to calculate the sum of all prime numbers with a range of 1 and 100. So we will learn how can we find a number is a prime or not, and also in case if we need to print prime numbers, or maybe find the sum of them, these things we could do. Okay, so a number is a prime if it is divisible by only 1 in itself. Okay, the next question is like write a program to store 10 names in an array. So this is again string. So this is like string array. If we say array, an array could be collection of numbers, or an array could be collection of strings. So here we will learn how can we store strings in an array, and then how can we do certain manipulations like sorting these strings and all those things. Okay, so they say that input some numbers in the string, and then sort them out and print in this particular scenario in the capital letter. Okay, so we can solve this question if we know how can we use arrays, as well as how can we use the strings. Okay, so this is all about the question paper and the syllabus. And so what we have done is we have splitted this syllabus mainly into two classes, class 9 and class 10, but we could learn individually also, like we can learn in class 10 from starting to beginning, as well as in class 9 we learn a lot of things. Okay, so majorly the subject is computer applications, where we teach Java. So this is the standard operating procedure, where we take the classes on the weekends and we teach online. So we just teach only the hardcore programming. Okay, so if we say what we teach in class 9 is like introduction to object-oriented programming, elementary concepts of like objects and classes, what are classes, and all those things. Okay. Then the data types, what are data types, then how can we input value in our Java, what are operators, plus, minus, all those things. Then mathematical library methods. Okay, like then again the conditional operators, if else statement, switch case, this is again very important. Then looping, basically for while, do while loop, how the loop works. So this is again the base of any programming, how the loop works, so we will learn that. And then certain type of programs we will learn, like Fibonacci series, prime numbers, factorial, and all those things. Okay, then also even odd numbers, right, from the if else statement. Nesting of loops, if we use a loop inside another loop, that is called as nested loop. So we will learn how can we use the nested loops. Okay, so these things we will learn. So this is actually the syllabus of class 9. Then for class 10 we normally start with introduction to object-oriented programming, where we will teach the concepts of object orientation, which is again very important for the students. Okay, then the basics of programming. Okay, then again what are classes, what are objects, and all those things. Then we go to the operators. These are the basics of Java language. So mainly this particular part is a theory part. Then this operators in Java is actually from where we start the programming. Then we teach how to input the value in Java. Then mathematical library methods, if else statement, switch case. We have already covered here, but if someone is studying the syllabus of class 10 directly, so we just teach these things here. Okay. Then iterative constructs of Java, for, while, do while, these are called as loops. Okay, so we have iterations here, so we teach how the program works along with the drawing. Okay, so even though if you don't have a laptop or a computer with you, you can still learn it. You can make the dry run of the program in your notepad, and you can see what is the output. Okay, so this way you learn to the depth, right? You don't just remember the program. You understand how it works, and you can build your own logic. Okay, the nesting of loops, then developing patterns. There are a lot of patterns which comes like stars and all those things, so we teach them how to develop those patterns. Okay, then UDF, again user defined methods, library classes, arrays, very important, 1D and 2D, string handling, again very important, one question comes from there. Then encapsulation, constructor, these are actually theoretical topics. Then call by value and call by reference, this is again a very important topic. So this is majorly the outline of the entire syllabus that we cover. Okay, but along with this we have a lot to learn, and we ensure that whatever the syllabus is there, that is fully covered, right? So we have expertise and we are experienced, so we just teach to only a target audience, and so our entire set of students, so we just teach only to ICSE class 6 to 10 computer application, very specific. Okay, and so if you are interested in learning this program, you can contact me on this particular number. Okay, this is my email address. So we run only the online classes. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for joining. I will upload some more videos where I will explain some of the concepts of Java and some of the programs which could be helpful for the students, and they could learn from home. Okay, so again, this is Code India Computer Education Program, ICSE Class 6 to 10. Thank you very much.